Hey y'all, welcome back to Recaps with May. And in today's video, I'm going to give y'all a light, spoiler free review for a movie I just checked out on Tubi called Dirty Cops LA. So if you loved my review of Scam Likely, sit on down because I think you might like this movie too. Hey y'all, so before we get started and before I give y'all my thoughts on Dirty Cops LA, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to everybody, all the new subscribers I got. Last time I checked, which was like sometime in September, I only had like 14 subscribers, and I checked today and it's up to 46. So obviously, y'all like something about me to where y'all want to listen to what I gotta say. So, thank you. And if this is your first time checking my channel out, go ahead and subscribe, drop a like, comment. Let's get a whole conversation talking about these movies in the comments. So, without further ado, let's get into the good that I liked about this movie. So, something that I am a stickler on when I review these independent movies, one thing that I will not waver my opinion on is that the storyline has to make sense. The plot twist has to make sense. We can't have no plot holes in the movies. Like, I am a stickler about that. I don't care if it's a Hollywood, film, or if it's an independent film. I really hold the standard pretty high when I'm like, hey, the storyline got to make sense. And I feel like a lot of Tubi movies, they get this, they get a reputation of being like low budget, bad movies, bad acting, all that. But the storylines be fire. And one thing I can say is a lot of these independent movies that have been on Tubi that I've watched, they've stepped their games all the way up. So they are doing such a great job with their production quality. And this movie did its thing. The production quality was on point. The acting on point. A lot of times I felt like when I was watching this movie, I felt like they was improvising a lot, and they kind of went off script a few times with their jokes. They didn't seem like they were acting. That was the best part I liked about this movie. Like, I can buy both of Detective Jackson and Detective Johnson. I could buy them as dirty cops any day of the week. Now, with this being an action comedy movie, the pace of the jokes was very good in this movie as well. The jokes didn't seem like they were trying too hard. All the jokes hit, all the jokes hit every time they were said. So I appreciated that. With this being, I haven't watched too many like action comedy movies that's independent and on Tubi, but this one, they did a damn good job. We didn't all watch the hood movies on Tubi of a guy trying to get out the game and somehow he killed or somehow somebody betrayed him. Like, we done seen all of those movies before. So it was very refreshing to see an action hood movie, but it's a comedy also as well. So they did a great job on that as well. Dive a little bit deeper into Dirty Cops LA. So if y'all know anything about me, whenever I do a movie review, I like to dive deep into the cast, the director, the writer, all of that. If they got merch, I want to buy their merch. So they have a website. It's dirtycopslathemovie.com. And on here they give a synopsis of the movie. So Set in the fictional 77th precinct of the Los Angeles Police Department, Dirty Cops follows two detectives that play by a different set of rules. That's where I feel like Training Day gets sprinkled a little bit in there. If I had to compare it to anything, Training Day, because they are dirty cops. They are crooked as hell. So, Detective Jackson, an ex hustler turned cop, has never seen a line that he wasn't willing to cross. And that is true. He is accompanied by his partner, Detective Johnson, ex gang member turned shady do gooder. And Detective Johnson, he was funny as hell. He had there was like a running gag of him like being fat. And then like sort of towards the middle and end, they like, you did lose 10 pounds, didn't you? So that was like a running gag throughout the whole movie. Detective Johnson, he did his thing too. So the two bring a new meaning to the phrase boys in blue. Although Jack and Johnson are normally preoccupied with robbing and assaulting the city's criminal element, they also make time to choose a few cases along the way. The city has been taken over by an outsider known as El Jefe, a Mexican drug lord that has decided to make LA his new home. Jackson and Johnson plan on helping him get settled in. Settled in. Dirty Cops is Will Smith and Martin Lawrence's Bad Boys meets NBC's Brooklyn Nine-Nine. The hilariously funny ensemble cast keeps the viewer laughing and guessing. The precinct also includes a sassy and clever desk, the Sergeant Rawlings, an old school police captain, Captain Davis, a few other detectives that are collectively LA's finest dirty cops. So yeah. Um, so here's the cast. Detective Jackson, played by I Am Joey. Side note, he is also the director, the writer, and I believe he's like part of the producer too. So yeah, go follow I Am Joey, the director, on Instagram. He is dope, and from what he been dropping some hints that there is going to be a series of Dirty Cops LA, and I am so here for it. So Detective Johnson here was played by G. Wells. Like I said, he did his thing in there too. He was definitely a good balance for Detective Jackson. Like they played off of each other very well. And the OG, the one and only Slink Johnson, plays the captain. Now, Slink Johnson, I have been a fan of his ever since Black Jesus, and he was also the voice of Lamar Davis in Grand Theft Auto 5. So I'm like, he's the one of those actors where you hear his voice, you know that's him. You see his face, you know it's about to be some bullshit because he's funny as hell. So yeah, Slink Johnson did his thing. Detective Rowling, she was cool. She played a little supporting role. I liked her. She had a few funny lines too. And then this other comedian Delay, he was funny as hell too. And I've actually seen a few of his stand-ups, so he's pretty funny. And then little TJ in the movie, which is, I would say he's not the main antagonist, but he's definitely like somebody that they got their eye on, and they definitely have their run-ins with him. So yeah, the tagline of the movie is the best damn cop movie ever. And they ain't lying on that. They is not lying on that. The movie is damn good. So in addition to all that I just said, the movie is also rated 8.5 out of 10 on IMDb, and it's not rated on Rotten Tomatoes yet. So I feel like not a lot of people know about this movie or have heard of this movie. And Rotten Tomatoes is usually, for the big studios, big Hollywood releases. So if y'all have a chance, go ahead on Rotten Tomatoes and give a review of what y'all think about this movie. It says it was released in 2021, but I think it was filmed think they did like a light release in 2020. And the movie is an hour and 42 minutes. So go check that movie out. Let me know what you think. I try to, limit any spoilers. I really want y'all to go watch this movie. I don't want to spoil it too much for y'all. But the movie is funny. It's a very funny movie. Glad to hear that a sequel or a series is coming. Definitely gonna be looking out for that. Follow everybody who I mentioned. Follow them on Instagram. Give them a follow. Let them know that I sent y'all over there to follow them. You can actually watch the movie on Tubi. It is now been, I think it just got released on Prime Video. And you also can watch it here on YouTube. So I'll include that link up here or down there in the comments box. I'll put the link somewhere down there. Um, the studio that backed the movie is called Maverick Entertainment Group. They also have a YouTube page, so I'll tag them too below. And yeah, let's get to talking about the movie in the comments. What was the funniest part for y'all? I can tell y'all my funniest movie is when they went up in the store and yeah, it was funny. So let's talk about it in the comments if you already saw it. And if not, before y'all head on out, subscribe